Today we are in the second week of the 84th refresher course on the ICT. On this day, almost half of our journey has been completed. On the occasion, a very good morning to all and a warm welcome after the 2 day of refreshing break in the 2 weeks refresher course journey on ICT. I'm feeling privileged to be the chairperson of the first session of the presentation and evaluations. I'm thankful to director and coordinator of the 84th refresher course in ICT to give me this opportunity. हम सभी जानते हैं कि ये एक शिक्षा से रिलेटेड कार्यक्रम है जिसमें सभी लोग अपने अपने ज्ञान वर्धन के लिए जुड़े हैं और कुछ सीखने की इच्छा सभी लोग रखते हैं। ऐसे कार्यक्रम में मेरा पर्सनल ओपिनियन रहता है कि शिक्षा के कार्य का शुभारंभ मां शारदे से आशीर्वाद प्राप्त करने से आत्मविश्वास में वृद्धि स्वयं ही हो जाती है। इसलिए आज सुबह की प्रार्थना में मां शारदे का मंत्र एन्चांट करके सेशन को प्रारंभ करना चाहूँगा। आप सभी से रिक्वेस्ट है कि अपने मन में इस मंत्र को ज्वाइन करें और मां शारदे का आशीर्वाद प्राप्त करें। ओम सरस्वती वीणा पुस्तक धारिणी हंस वाहिनी विद्यादान करो ममा। क्योंकि आज के सेशन में हम सभी को लास्ट वीक में जितने भी प्रेजेंटेशंस हैं उसमें हमने जो कुछ भी सीखा है उसके बाद जो हमें एक प्रेजेंटेशन वर्क एज ए असाइनमेंट अलॉट हुआ है उसके लिए हमें प्रेजेंट करना है। बेस्ट विशेस टू ऑल द पार्टिसिपेंट्स इंक्लूडिंग माई सेल्फ। टाइम being till Professor Sharma join us for the evaluation, I request and call the reviewers of these sessions, technical sessions, who review the session on 14th of August one by one, so that this task can be completed as the part of our review session. And after that we will wait for Dr. Sharma, and timing we can discuss some other topics if the time permits us. So first of all, I do call Mrs. Shailaja Mahadappa, who was the reviewer for the first technical session, in which Professor Sandeep Sharma from JNDU was the chairperson and the session chair. I do call Madam Shailaja. Thank you.
Hello. Welcome to the 8th day of the 84th refresher course on ICT through online mode. Just now, we have seen the videos of campus of Punjabi University Patiala and very happy to see that. Good morning to all. Myself, Mrs. Shailaja Mahadappa, Assistant Professor in Physics from Government First Grade College, Basokalland from Karnataka. I take the pleasure of sharing the review of first session of 14th August 2020. As usual, we had review session at 9:30. Dr. Lakhvir sir, the chairperson for that session, welcomed everyone to the session. Dr. Gauri Khanna sang the morning prayer. Dr. Sarbjit Singh, Ms. Sunita and Dr. Lakhvir Singh reviewed the sessions of previous day. The chairperson, Dr. Lakhvir Singh sir, shared shairi and also he sang a song and told his story with real emotions. At 10 o'clock began the first technical session. The chairperson, Dr. Lakhvir Singh, introduced the speaker, Professor Sandeep Sharma, Professor, Department of Computer Engineering and Technology, JNDU, Amritsar, who gave lecture on Internet of Things and its applications. Sir explained how IoT is dealing with computer and also how life is easy with IoT. Sir explained about the role of technology and 4 essential components of today's technology, that is hardware, data, software and connectivity. Sir also told about 8 top enterprise technologies in which IoT is one among them. Sir also told how all technologies rely on network and about networking, data collection in small network, small area network, corporate network, Internet, which is the backbone of IoT, Internet growth trends, age-wise Internet user in India, architecture of IoT, working of IoT, applications of IoT, role of IoT in smart city, application of IoT in agriculture using drones. So, sir explained about Raspberry Pi, which is the popular device in IoT. Sir shared video to show the use of drone in agriculture at the end about the challenges of IoT in future. In short, I would like to say sir has explained very well on IoT, which is very much needed for all of us in this COVID-19 pandemic period. A very live example for this is we all are attending 84th refresher course on ICT through online mode. Then we had question and answer session where many of the participant friends got answers for their queries. Lastly, the chairperson thanked the speaker, course coordinator and the participant friends. Then we all moved to the tea break. Thank you. Thanks to all.
Thank you, Madam Shailaja. A very beautiful summary was composed by Madam Shalda Selja of the very first session. For the next session, the reviewer was Dr. Jagtar Singh, and on the chair, Professor Manoj Sachin was with us. Now I welcome Dr. Jagtar Singh for the presentation of the review of the second technical session which held on 14th August 2020.
Hello. A very good morning to all. On 5th day of 84th refresher course, Heartfulness was the title of the second session and Dr. Manoj Sachin was the speaker. The session was chaired by Mrs. Shailaja Mahadappa. Dr. Manoj Sachin discussed that we learn a lot from many sources like scriptures, lectures and books. But as the lecture ends or we finish reading the book, we remain the same as before. Experience is the gold that backs the currency of knowledge. Without experience, all knowledge stays abstract and hollow. It is not yet ours. The speaker further said that heartfulness is a path of experiencing our inner self. It teaches us to dive deep into our heart and be in a natural state of love, peace and calmness. When practiced regularly, meditation helps us become in tune with our heart and develop the capacity to remain poised and balanced at all times. Spending even a few minutes meditation can restore your calm and inner peace. Meditation eliminates the stream of jumbled thoughts that may be crowding your mind, causing stress, and at the same time improves your focus and attention. One meditation session has surplus health benefits. You will notice that your sleep pattern, overall health improves. Dr. Manoj said that the aim of conducting meditation session is to know about various advantages of meditation, different types and techniques of meditation. During the session, all participants also practice meditation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Jagtar. Though the second session was more practical based than theoretical based, even though Dr. Jagtar find out and discussed with us in very simple words what was discussed by Professor Manoj Sachin on that day with all the participants. Thanks again. The reviewer for the last session was Dr. Lakhveer Singh, and chair was session by Professor Sukhjit K. Ranade from the Punjabi University Patiala. So I welcome Dr. Lakhveer Singh for the presentation of the review of the third session of that.
Good morning all of you and respected chairperson Dr. Vishal. Yesterday was the 5th day of the refresher course. I am Dr. Lakhveer Singh, Assistant Professor, Department of Social Work, Punjabi University Patiala. I have reviewed the third session. The third technical session was started on 2:30 to 4 p.m. on dated 14/8/2020, and the chairperson of the day was Dr. Jagtar Singh. On the day, the resource person was Dr. Sukhjit Kaur Ranade, Associate Professor, Distance Education, Department of Computer Science, Punjabi University, Patiala, and his title of the topic is Information Security, Common Threats and Defenses. Her key area of images processing and general talk concerned about the information security. She told that on the July 15, 2020, between 20 UTC Indian time, reportedly 130 high-profile Twitter accounts hacked, so at least 130 accounts affected and $110,000 US transfer. In 216, Bangladesh Bank happened again, hacked illegally, transfer around 1 billion. In this case, the printer was hacked about the server, and day chosen were Friday evening, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, because on that days bank were closed due to the bank holiday. Also similar case found in Sri Lanka. In again 219 Indian bank data breaches and massive data breaches, 1.3 million debits and credit cards was detached by a Singapore-based cybersecurity crime. Dr. Rana Day also discussed about the cyber criminals to buy and selling card details and dark web. She told that during COVID-19, hackers attacked academic and pharmaceutical research institutions. She also explained common threats, that there are many types of computer security threats in this world. Some are petty, harmful, while some are totally harmless, and there is also some which does not do any damage of your computer but has the capability to empty the numbers of your bank accounts. She told that torsion is one of the most complicated threat among all. It is the ability to hide itself from antivirus detection and steal important banking data and compromise your bank accounts. And she also discussed about the various viruses. So the whole talks on the information security and also hackers in general. She explained about hacker, that how they can send emails on your behalf, and also discuss on computer program virus. It is not on today but harmful. Session was full of knowledge, very informative and nice way of your teaching, and it was very beautiful session, and resource person also used delivery talks, delivery techniques and such as PPT, relevant picture, videos and simple language. I hope all participants gain full knowledge and also used in daily life as well as classroom teaching. The content of the lecture was very good and full knowledge. Online interaction with the participants was good. The session was also relevant with all participants and whole society which are attached with the participant, because it is should be aware to others regarding this type of information. Then we can alert about hackers. So also discuss some suggestions and in session, so be aware these hackers and don't worry about it and be happy. So session was closed by national anthem and vote of thanks. Thank you very much, Vishal.
थैंक यू डॉक्टर लखवीर सिंह जी। मैडम ने जितना डिटेल में हम सभी के साथ डिस्कस किया, डॉक्टर लखवीर ने उन सभी चीज़ों को बहुत शॉर्ट में और बहुत अच्छे से रिव्यू कराने में आज बहुत ही अच्छा रोल प्ले किया। थैंक यू डॉक्टर लखवीर। सो द रिव्यू आर ओवर फॉर द टुडे एंड नाउ वी विल वेट फॉर डॉक्टर शर्मा टू जॉइन विद अस। Time being, I may request any volunteer to share either experiences with us or can sing a song or can some jokes with us. जब तक वो अपने आप को प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं, मैं अपनी लाइफ के कुछ इंसिडेंट्स आप लोगों के साथ शेयर कर सकता हूँ। ये रिफ्रेशर कोर्स का प्लेटफॉर्म हमें पंजाबी यूनिवर्सिटी पटियाला ने दिया, and unknowingly in past I was not very much aware about all the professors and teachers who are teaching over there so dedicatedly. Dr. Vishal, I'd like to share that some things naturally happened with me in life. I completed my PhD in August 2012, and the evaluator and the person who came for the evaluation was Professor Amardeep from the Department of Computer Science. और जब सारी evaluation complete हुई तो सर लास्ट में एक अजीब सा इंसिडेंट हुआ कि डॉक्टर साहब ने कहा कि मैटर बड़ा चंगा प्रेजेंट किया, और उस वक्त क्योंकि प्रेजेंटेशन खत्म हुआ था और पंजाबी मुझे बहुत अच्छे से नहीं आती थी, तो मुझे वो उनका चंगा वर्ड ऐसे लगा कि शायद वो चेंज बोल रहे हैं, कि मैटर बड़ा चेंज किया। तो जब तक वो लंच टाइम चलता रहा और ड्यूरेशन होता रहा, तो मुझे कहीं ना कहीं ये टेंशन इंटरनल रहा कि सर को इतना ऑब्जर्वेशन कैसे रहा कि इसमें चेंजेस तो हुए ही नहीं। ओवरऑल फाइनली बाय इवनिंग बाय करने के टाइम पे उनसे क्लियर हुआ, तो एवरीबडी वाज लाफ कि लैंग्वेज की बाउंड्रीज कहीं ना कहीं समटाइम्स कंफ्यूजन क्रिएट करती हैं, बट ओवरऑल पंजाबी वाज सो स्वीट लैंग्वेज कि उन्होंने अपनी इतनी अच्छी सी और पोलाइट सी वर्ड इतने पॉजिटिव वे में शेयर की, एंड इट हेल्प्स मी। सेकेंडली सर, जब एमफिल के कैंडिडेट्स रजिस्टर हुए अंडर माय गाइडेंस, तो फर्स्ट suggestion given was again Professor Amardeep was there with me, who visited our university and gave the major suggestions for the registration. Thirdly, जब सर मेरे अंडर फर्स्ट PhD स्टूडेंट रजिस्टर हुए, that time again Professor Himanshu Agarwal from the computer sciences was the person who came for the evaluation of the synopsis, and he shared very beautiful thoughts after listening the contents of the synopsis. I still remember his words. बच्चे के साथ टॉकिंग्स करने के बाद हमने जितना भी सिनॉप्सिस के लिए प्रिपेयर किया था, somehow कैंडिडेट वाज डिस्टर्ब कि पता नहीं ये हो पाएगा या नहीं हो पाएगा, बट प्रोफेसर हिमांशु ने कहा कि डोंट वरी कि ये कंटेंट्स ऐसे हैं कि या तो इस पे नोबेल प्राइज के लिए आप कंपीट कर सकते हैं अगर बहुत अच्छे से काम करेंगे, और कंप्लीट नहीं कर पाएंगे तो शायद इसमें कुछ भी नहीं हो पाएगा। So those were the very much dedicated words and motivated words for us, and we are doing in that direction till today. Approximate 2 papers has been published, and we are hope that we will achieve this. Some other experiences in life, sir, बहुत डिटेल्स में चीज़ों को डिस्कस करने के साथ साथ समटाइम कोर्स प्लेज द वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल. I like them very personally in my life. So 2 quotes I like to share with you people. Once I listened in the school time one of the sentence that practice makes the man perfect, but it was again modified by one of the representative during the school time, that perfect practice makes the man perfect. So whenever we start to do something or anything in our life, we should always give the emphasis to this first word, that is perfect practice. If we start to do anything perfect from our side, then definitely the results will be the best at the end. Second, one more quote is there with me. I read somewhere that great people discuss the ideas, average people discuss the things, and low people discuss the peoples only. In all these 3 lines, the people refers the way of thinking, the boundaries of the brains of the person, and all the 3 lines are modified as that great minds discuss the ideas, average mind discuss the things, and lower mind discuss the peoples only. So I think from our day-to-day experiences, if we focus more on ideas, we can do something good in our life which is beneficial for the others. Just discussing about the other peoples, it seems to be the wastage of time, and we will not earn anything at the end. With these words, I'm stopping here, and if any volunteer is there from the cultural committee or anyone likes to share his ideas or things or jokes, etc., I do welcome them. Is there anybody?
Yeah, just a small announcement to all of you. I have observed that daily some people are joining late. I forcefully has to announce over here, because daily I request all of you that attendance is being marked automatically by this tool, and people are not taking care of this. So if HRDC will be taking any action on their behalf, then I will not be responsible for it. I have already instructed to please join 5 minutes before your sessions. But if you people are not serious and not taking it seriously, then you have to bear the consequences if there is any action by the HRDC. Second, Mr. Manoj has sent me the PDF file of the PPT. So it was instructed that PDF is not required for the PPT. PPT actually has to be sent because I have to merge all to make one single file to share with you all during the presentations. Even some of the participants has not sent the PPTs yet. So I request you all to kindly adhere to all the norms that I keep on telling you again and again. Thank you very much, and Dr. Dharamveer Sharma will be joining us shortly, and then we'll be starting right away.
हेलो सर। हेलो
हाँ जी सर बताइए।
हेलो सर, विशाल सर से मैं पूछना चाहता था कुछ।
हाँ
जी
प्लीज
बोलिए मनोज जी। हाँ जी मनोज सर बोलिए।
सर मैंने PDF फाइल भेजी है, डेट इज सर लेटेक्स फॉर्मेट, और लेटेक्स फॉर्मेट में इसी तरह की प्रेजेंटेशन PDF में ही आती है तो इसके फॉर्मेट।
सर प्रेजेंटेशन लेटेक्स में किसने कहा है आपको सर?
सर मैं जैसे इंस्ट्रक्शन फॉलो कर रहा था।
लेटेक्स वाज बुक एंड पेपर।
नहीं सर, पेपर वास्ते नहीं है, वो प्रेजेंटेशन वास्ते भी वेबिनार स्पेशली जो है लेटेक्स में ये यूज होता है प्रेजेंटेशन के लिए सर।
सर फिर प्रेजेंटेशन कैसे चलेगी? मैं मतलब
अच्छा
Hello,
मैं आप शेयर करता हूं।
Anyhow, please send me the presentation. Fine, send me the PPT.
Hello, sir.
Yes, anybody else? Yes.
Hello, sir. Sir, after e-compilation of book review, sir, can I mail it to HRDC PUP RC1, sir? All book reviews.
Ma'am, wait for the instructions.
Okay,
Let
sir.
us
Okay.
complete presentations first. Then
Okay,
we'll be
sir.
coming to compilation of e-reports for the papers and the book reviews.
No, sir. Yesterday I got 4 to 5 book reviews to my mail, sir. What I have to do with those? After e-compilation, I have to keep as it is, sir, now.
Ma'am, I will let you know. So let me complete the presentations first in these 2 days. Fine?
Okay, sir. Okay. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Anyone else who want to do any clarifications?
Hello, sir. Here, Harpreet Kaur. Hello.
Yeah, ma'am.
Sir, I have also prepared my presentation in LaTeX format, so that's why I have sent PDF file.
Ma'am, where all the participants have sent me the PPT.
Okay, sir.
I will
तो
not
मुझे लगा कि पेपर एंड प्रेजेंटेशन दोनों ही लेटेक्स में बनाने थे।
Paper and book review. Presentation is always in PPT. Recently. Yeah,
Okay,
Dr. Krishna, I have not received your mail yet.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Dr. Krishna.
I have sent the PPT, sir.
When you have sent?
Sir, likely 7:15 or 7:30 p.m. yesterday.
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 Okay, I will recheck again. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Sir, one more question.
Yeah.
Sir, I have sent the book review to the email of HRDC PUP RC1. Whether it is okay or I have to send to another email like editorial committee or academic
Then
committee.
you have, Dr. Krishna, we have the teams, editorial teams. You have the list with you. They are compiling.
Sir,
So I request the one member of the editorial team of respective tasks to share their email IDs so that the participants are aware that where on each email they will be sending you the papers and on which email ID they will be sending you the book reviews, so that you get all the book reviews and all the papers and you can compile in a single file.
okay, sir. So
queries?
I request the committee member to post their email IDs in this group. Okay, sir.
Okay, fine. Any more queries or clarifications?
No, sir.
Yeah, Dr. Vishal, The
Yes.
speaker of the day, Professor Dharamveer Sharma, has joined us. So
Right,
you
sir.
can continue with the session, please.
Fine. Thank you, sir. Good morning to all of you. The evaluator for the session, Dr. Dharamveer Sharma, Professor and Head, Department of Computer Science, is present with us to grace the session. I am extending my special welcome to you, sir. I'm highly impressive and achievements of the Professor Sharma I like to share for the introduction of the sir with all of us. The Professor Sharma is holding the charge of Head of Computer Science Department right now. Sir has enriched experience of 22 years of enlightening the students of undergraduate and postgraduate, along with research guidance of 2 students for MPhil and 4 students for PhD scholars. Sir has more than 115 research publications in his credit, published or presented in conferences and journals of repute. Sir, you have the life membership of CSI and ISC and many other editorial bodies of the academics. Sir developed the multiple choice response decoder based on OMR and Unicode based Punjabi language utilities for the university. Sir, you have also developed the online version of encyclopedia on Sikhism, which is available on the university website itself. Sir, I extend warm welcome to you again in this first evaluation session, with the hope that your observation and feedbacks will help the participants to further improvements in future. I welcome you, sir, and seek the permission to start the presentations of the participants. Before starting, I like to share 2 instructions with all the participants, that everybody must switch on their mic and camera when their turn comes. I will call the participants by their serial number one by one. Your presentations will be controlled by Professor Vishal on his end, and the time allocation is 8 to 10 minutes for everybody. So please focus on the area of the title and wind it up timely. Thank you, Professor Sharma, and welcome again. So in the
Thank
series,
you, Dr. Vishal. Thanks a lot. And thanks to Dr. Vishal Goyal also for inviting me for this session.
Thank you.
How many participants
First of
do we
all,
have for this?
Sir, 8 are there.
Thank you, sir,
8
and
participants are
welcome from my
there.
side. Thank you.
Okay, fine.
So,
You may start.
in the series, sir, please. In the series, first of all, I call Dr. Gurpreet Singh, whose HRDC assigned serial number is 9.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, Dr. Gurpreet, please start.
Yes. Yes. Welcome all the participants, and special thanks and welcome to Dr. Vishal Goyal and Dr. Dharamveer sir. So welcome, sir. So my presentation topic is the effectiveness of online teaching versus the traditional teachings. So it's a 84th refresher course in ICT. So next slide, sir. Hello, I am audible, sir?
Dr. Jakti.
Yes,
Dr.
you are
Gurpreet, you are
audible.
audible.
Please go ahead.
continue.
Yeah.
Please
Next
go
slide.
ahead.
Yes. So education. These are the some famous quote by the very known persons, that education is not a learning of facts, but is the training of mind to things. And education is the ornament of the prosperity and refuse a diversity. The next is the education is the manifestations of perfections present already in the man. So divinity is the manifestation of the reason of the man by the Swami Vivekananda. So according to Dr. Rabindranath Tagore, the highest education is that which does not merely give us information but make our life in harmony with all existence. So Nelson Mandela, education is the most powerful weapon which can use change the world, and the real knowledge is to know the extent of one ignorance. This is the Confucius in 551 BC, before the Christ. So next slide, sir. So basically education is between the two people. One is the teacher and other is the student. So who is the teacher? So teacher is the person who helps student to acquire knowledge, competence and the virtue. Knowledge is about his or her subjects, knowledge about how to behave, how to live in the society, how to deal with the problem. It means the teacher is the second level parents of the child who tells the right path to the student on their life way. So student, second one is the student. So student means the who want to get knowledge in any subject, in any field from someone in some defined manners. So the education promotes is actually directly relationship between the teacher and the student. So relationship between the student and the teacher plays very large role in the trajectory of the child academic success and the social development. Establishing a positive relationship with their teacher helps a student feel more comfortable and safe in their classroom environments. So at this time I have someone experience that in one of my interview, a very old educationist asked me a question: what is the relationship between the teachers and the students? So I told him very simple, common answers, just like a study to someone with a subject. But after an interview, he told me the relationship between the teacher and the student just like a child in a mother womb. She does not know the color of the child. She does not know the gender. She does not know the height, whether he is beautiful, ugly. But she loves very much. She protects his or her in her womb more than her life. So after that words, so then I understand the actual answer of that question. The relationship between the teacher and the student is just like a baby in mother womb. So now, last one, sir, please. Last slide, sir. Previous one, yes. So next, sir, next slide. History. So in India, history of the education system in India. So in my point of view, there are a Vedic education, British education system, current education system, and now the future of the India is online education system. So in Vedic education system, this education system was dependent on the moral and ethics of the education. So the aim of the Vedic education was to realize the supreme and achieve supreme consciousness, preservation and spread of the ancient cultures, to unhold the spiritual and moral power of the individuals, and were perfections of the physical, mental and intellectual personality of the student. So this is the important one, that formation of goods and moral character was also the another aim of the Vedic education. So this line targets the behavior of the person, means the acharan. Acharan means the behavior, and the teacher who tells about the acharan is also known as the acharya. So that why old teacher name as the acharya? So this education system was not for the. This is the one of the drawback of this education system, not for the common person. It is only for the king's children or some Brahmins families. So second is the British education system. So this type of education system was brought in India, including the English language, by Lord Thomas in 1830. So the curriculum was confined to a modern subject such as science and mathematics, and subjects like say metaphysics and the philosophy were considered unnecessary. So teaching was confined to classroom, and link with the nature was broken, and also the close relationship between the teacher and the students. So in 1929, the Board of Higher Schools and Intermediate Education, Rajputana, was established. So third one is the current education. So these are continuous running in now India. So online So education in India is primarily provided by the public schools, colleges and universities, controlled and funded by the government at 3 levels, that is the central level, state level and local levels, and bottommost is the private schools. So under various articles of the Indian Constitution, free and compulsory education is provided as a fundamental right to children aged 6 to 14 years. Actually, this current education system is not much different from the British systems. So next is the online. So this system has received attention due to this epidemic situation in India. So online education is the form of the education where students use their home computer through the internet. So it has a different name, just like a computer-based training, web-based training, internet-based training, online training, e-learning, electronic training, mobile trainings, computer-aided distance education. So it's a way to teach and learn outside of the traditional classroom and away from the college campuses. With online education, students can turn any place into the classroom with internet access or electricity. So it can include audio, video, text, animation, virtual training environment, and lives. So next is the traditional education system. So I described in previous slide that what is the traditional system means Vedic system, British system, and the current system. So the history of education began with the teaching of traditional elements such as Indian religion, next Indian mathematics, so Indian logic at early Hindus and Buddhist center of the learning such as ancient Takshila, now this is in Pakistan, and the Nalanda in India. Now the current education system means, the classroom, lecture room, tutorial, face-to-face training, teachings. So in this education system there is a less practice and more theoretical work. So there are a lot of advantages and disadvantages of this education system. So advantages are the active learning, interaction and the communication, scheduled learning, social benefits and extracurricular activity. In active learning is the participation or the huge benefit of traditional system. During class, student can participate in real time with teachers and the classmates. So interaction and communication, students learn how to communicate and interact with the teachers and classmates at the school. So this improves their ability to maintain interpersonal relationships as well as the communication skills. So scheduled learning means the schools are well organized, universities, colleges are well organized and structural traditional education. The routine that comes with the traditional schooling being punctuality, discipline and organization to children as young as adults. So main advantages is the social benefits. So going to school is a fundamental building block in the person's life. So schools is where children learn how to socialize and make friends. School is where, university, college is where we meet some of our best friends and make memories of lifetimes. So one of the another best benefit is the extracurricular activity. So throughout our schools we gain a great deal by the participation in class, field trips, school activities, sports clubs and more. So there are some disadvantages means the student focus is set on a wrong direction. There too much focus on the presentation, little time left for the practice, and the teacher lectures is generally one size fits itself. So in the first one, in taking notes instead of understanding and engrossing new ideas, understood is powerlessness to handle key thought and ideas. Next one is the science, too much focus.
Excuse me, Dr. Gurpreet, time is about to over. Please wind it up one soon. Dr. Gurpreet, please wind it up.
Okay, now traditional system. Next one is the next slide, sir. This is the online education system. Advantage and disadvantage: flexibility, reduced cost, networking opportunity, documentation, instructor, students. And disadvantage, especially online system, is the limited feedback, social isolation, self-motivation, less of self-motivation, cheating prevention is very less, teaching focusing, face-to-face communication is very less, illiteracy and health problems just like eyes, ears problems, eye strains, back pain, etc. So these are the some challenges in the India. That is, the internet connectivity is very low in India. Which subject? The subject means the sum of just like a mathematics. It's not possible to learn the to teach the mathematics in online worlds. So religion content, 30 near about more than 30 languages in India. So regional content is very less. Increase in the screen time, cost of the gadget due to the low per capita income of the Indian citizens, and age factor means schooling, first class to 10th class. Next slide, sir. So these are the conclusion of my presentation. Both methods have their limitation. One thing is worth noting that the disadvantages of the traditional teaching is the advantages of the online teaching. So I concluded that if the teaching is combined in both ways, then it will be the revolution in Indian education system. So thank you, sir. Thank you for this one.
Thank you, Dr. Gurpreet. Before we start the next one, again like to remind that every participant must keep a check on the time. In the series, I call next participant Dr. Gauri Khanna, HRDC serial number 22.
एक सेकंड बेटा प्लीज, एक मिनट मैं म्यूट कर.
Dr. Gauri Khanna is there.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, madam, please start.
Hello.
You're audible, madam. Please start the presentation.
Okay. I, Dr. Gauri Khanna, Assistant Professor in Khalsa College, Patiala, presenting a paper for 84th refresher course on ICT organized by HRDC, Punjab University, Patiala. The title of my paper is "Should we develop our own e-content or reuse already available?" and emphasis should be on doubt clearing session. Next slide, please. Introduction. As you all know, e-content includes all kind of content created and delivered through various electronic media, from old media such as print and radio to the increasingly sophisticated electronic tools with combination of sound, images and text. Now, e-content requires huge amount of creativity, both at information level as well as the technology level. The emerging trend all over the world is towards more individualized and flexible form of learning with an emphasis on the individual learning. So, e-content is the largest method of it. Next slide, please. E-learning is a process and e-content is a product. This approach of teaching has become an answer to the complicated modern social economic condition as in an exploding population. E-content lesson is generally designed to guide students through information or to help them perform specific tasks. An e-content package can be used as teacher in the virtual classroom situation. Using e-content, the time and finance involved in the teaching process can be minimized. E-content is facilitating individualized instruction. Next slide, please. E-content is valuable to the people, as we all know, and also helpful to teachers for all individuals' instruction system. E-content is the largest method of instruction that has attracted more attention together with different concepts. The ultimate aim of the e-content is to abolish the disparity among the learners through effective education. E-content is facilitating to the teachers through effective learning. It is enhancing the learner's knowledge level, which leads to creative thinking, and it gives the future ideas on the basis of giving links and references. Next slide, please. In this slide, the focus on should we develop our own e-content. Access to information has become very easy because of information sharing on World Wide Web. Quality of teaching and students' learning are determined by the teachers who teach them. Well-trained teachers will require knowledge, skills and commitment, can develop scientific and critical thinking, promote tolerance and develop cultural and social values in them. Innovative technologies will make it possible to achieve these by providing new ways to teachers. But these new technologies are placing more demands on teachers to learn how to use them in their teaching and learning processes.
This great transformation is posing challenges to teachers and teacher educators in using technologies in creative and productive ways. Hence, we as teachers have to meet these new challenges by continuously acquiring new knowledge and skills to discharge our duties effectively. Until now, much of what has been developed in multimedia instructional design and e-content appears to be based more on anticipation rather than empirically based research. Next slide, please. Now we focus in the slide on should we reuse the already available content. The learning process has been influenced by the extension and evolution of computer network and multimedia technology. Those technologies also allow the learners to participate in an active and self-paced learning environment. Technologies were not necessarily changing the way of teaching subjects. Humans are limited in the amount of information that can be transferred in each channel at one time when dealing with new knowledge. The constraints of the processing capacity force us to make decisions about which segments of information to pay attention to, the degree to which we should build connections between selective segments and the learner's previous knowledge. Next slide, please. Content reuse also enables brands to stay timely and relevant by providing access to spot-on assets at a moment's notice. Also, by leveraging assets you have already created, you can find more time to experiment with creating new variations of the content. Making content effective and useful for everyone in the marketing organization requires commitment and input from every person on the field. Also, when you have a solid plan and workflow for content reuse, it will be easier for various teams within the marketing organization to stay on brand and keep content recreation cost at a minimum. One way to accomplish this is to provide a real-time way for content creators to share and coordinate on details of new asset projects. Next slide, please. This slide will focus on emphasis on doubt clearing sessions. Assessment in education must be used to help students learn and to improve learning rather than be used to rank students' learning, where students perform to get good grades rather than to achieve a compelling purpose. Therefore, assessment has to occur in the middle of the learning content, not just at the end, and must focus on learning process, not just outcomes. Students are more likely to understand and apply knowledge in new situations if they are presented with a set of problems and encouraged to draw connections with them. Interactivity in content is an efficient way to help learners understand abstract concepts. It helps also learners control virtual circumstances to display results and gain understanding of a given concept. It also allows learners to control and confirm results immediately on the screen. Next slide, please. Students can send in doubts, throw email or attach files, take pictures of difficult problems with their phones, just send in the questions causing trouble in the class. These doubts are addressed systematically. These sessions also build a strong relationship between our faculties and students, and we find that students regularly seek help in clarifying doubts from their concepts. All classes are taken with the help of well-prepared notes and presentations which contain theory, questions and high-quality resources to enhance the knowledge on the subject. Next slide, please. Key features of doubt clearing.
Yeah, madam, please move towards the winding up. Your time is about to over, please.
Okay. Conclude, please. Next slide, please. So I conclude. We need innovative work in e-content material as a form of digital literacy in an educational setting, particularly to investigate the implications of new forms of social networking, knowledge sharing and knowledge building. And finally, because of the pervasive nature of e-content as a digital technology, the commercial interest that is invested in it, and the largely unregulated content of internet-based sources, the process of developing an effective e-content should be performed by some guidelines. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Gauri. Next in the series, I call Dr. Balraj Singh to please start up with the presentation.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, Dr. Balraj, you are audible. Please start.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Vishal and Dr. Vishal Goyal, Dr. Dharmesh Sharma. The title of my presentation is Impact of COVID-19 on Education. Let me start from introduction. COVID-19 is termed as a black swan event, and just like the economic impact as the World War II. This disease is caused by severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2, which has a determinantal effect on global healthcare system with a ripple effect on every aspect of life. The World Health Organization declared the outbreak of COVID-19 as a global emergency on January 30, 2020. To avoid the widespread of the
Excuse me,
COVID-19.
Dr. Balraj, please switch on your camera. Dr. Balraj, please switch on your camera.
Okay, sorry. To avoid the widespread of the COVID-19, governments have... Hello, am I audible?
Dr. Balraj, you are audible. You are audible, please continue.
Governments have enforced border shutdown, travel restrictions and quarantine in countries which constitute the world's largest economic, sparking fears of an impending economic crisis and recession. Next, please. Initiative by the Indian governments to avoid the spread of pandemic COVID-19, the government of India has taken defensive action. The Union government declared a countrywide lockdown of all educational institutions on 16 March 2020. All the examination of secondary and higher secondary schools were postponed on March 18, 2020 throughout India. Similarly, the most of the state government and other educational board postponed examination due to the outbreak of COVID-19. Next, please. Then Janata Curfew. Government of India has observed one-day national-wide Janata Curfew on 22 and implemented lockdown from March 25, 2020 onward in different phases. Government of India has been extending lockdown period from time to time, adopting different strategies to fight with the pandemic, but educational institutions remain closed continuously. Next, please. Digital India vision of the government is emerging as a vital tool during COVID-19. Government instructed the schools to hold all their classes online. The lockdown has accelerated adoption of digital technology. It has provided a chance to develop new and improve professional skill knowledge through online learning in more efficient and productive way. Online learning is the best solution during this pandemic COVID-19 situation. So the Digital India vision of the government is emerging as a vital tool for solving the present crisis due to COVID-19. The Ministry of Human Resource Development had made several arrangements including online portal and educational channels through direct-to-home TV, radios for students to continue learning. During lockdown, students are using popular social media tools like WhatsApp, Zoom, Google Meet, Telegram, YouTube Live, Facebook Live, etc. for online teaching system. So let me discuss some of the portals for online teaching. First, Diksha portal. Diksha portal contains e-learning content and provide curriculum including videos, lesson, worksheets, textbooks and assessments to students teachers and parents under the direction of CBSE and NCERT. The content has been created by 250 teachers from different languages. It has more than 80,000 e-books for classes 1 to 12 created by CBSE and NCERT in multiple languages. Then ePathshala. ePathshala is the e-learning way by NCERT for classes 1 to 12. The app houses books, videos, audios in multiple languages including Hindi, Urdu and English. In this web portal, NCERT has displayed 1886 audios, 2000 videos, 696 e-books and 504 flip books for classes 1 to 12 in different languages. National Repository for Open Educational Resources. This portal provides a host of resources to students and teachers in multiple languages, including books, interactive modules, and video. Content is mapped to the curriculum for classes 1 to 12, including aligned resources for teachers. It has a total of 14,527 files, including 401 collections, 2,779 documents, 1,345 interactive, 1,664 audios, 2,586 images, and 6,153 videos on different languages. Then Swam is an online education platform hosting 1,900 courses covering both school from 9th to 12 and higher education in all subjects including engineering, humanities and social sciences, law and management courses. Then Swam Prabha is a 32 DTH TV channel. Let me brief. Next is ePG Pathshala is a valuable way of learning. Postgraduate students can access this platform for e-book, online courses and study material. The next part is positive impact of COVID-19 on education. Transformation from traditional system to a new era. Move towards blended learning. COVID-19 moved the education system towards digital technologies for driven education. Educational institutes moves towards a blended mode of learning. Teachers and students encouraged to become more technology knowledge. Development of learning management system during lockdown. The learning management system by educational institutions become a great demand. It opened a opportunity for the companies those have been active in the field of developing and strengthening learning management system for use educational institutions. Encourage to use soft copy of learning material because students were unable to collect the hard copies of study material in lockdown situation, so they used soft copy materials. Collaborative work improved. COVID-19 created a new opportunity for collaborative teaching and learning. Collaborations can also develop among faculty, teachers and students across the world to benefit from each other. Online meeting system rise. The pandemic formed a massive growth in teleconferencing, virtual meetings, webinars and e-conferencing opportunities for students and teachers. The pandemic situation induced people to learn and use digital technology and resulted in increasing the digital literacy. Learning materials are shared among the students easily and the related queries are resolved through email, SMS, phone calls and using different social media like WhatsApp or Facebook. Then worldwide exposure for teachers and students. Teachers and students are getting opportunities to work together from around the world. Learners adopted to an international community. Time management. Students are able to manage their time more capably in online education during pandemics. Demand of open and distance learning. Most of the students prefer to open distance learning mode as it encourages self-learning, providing opportunities to learn from diverse resources and learning as per their needs. Then negative impact of COVID-19 on education.
Yeah, Dr. Balraj, please move toward wind up. Time is about.
Okay, sir. Okay. So it harmed the education activity. Then it infected the employment, and some of the teachers unprepared for online education, because this is a sudden transition. Then it reduced the global employment opportunity. It affected the global education. It affected the payment of fees at school and colleges. Then it has some of the indirect impact. Then conclusion and suggestions. It is required to discover the solutions to digital learning technology problems. Students, those are from low income families or presence of disability, etc. Distance learning program can be more improved. Need to provide more support for digitization to teachers and students. It is essential to explore more digital learning platforms. Steps should be taken to mitigate the effects of the pandemic on job offer, internship program, and research projects.
Just wind up, Dr. Balraj, please.
Yes, sir. Last, we cannot ignore that at this time of crisis, effective educational practice is needed for the capacity building of young minds. Central government and states need to take some measures to ensure the overall process in the country. Time never wait. This tough time will also pass. Till then, stay safe and stay at home. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Balraj. Next, I'd like to invite Dr. Sarabjit Singh, serial number 15.
Hello. Hello, sir. I am audible?
Yes, you are audible. Please switch on your camera also. Yes, please.
Good morning, everyone. I am Dr. Sarabjit Singh, Assistant Professor Punjabi, Department Khalsa College, Patiala. My research topic is online education as a catalyst for reforming higher education. I would like to share one thing, that as I am student of Punjabi language, so I am going to give my presentation in Punjabi language. तो ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਉੱਚ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੁਧਾਰ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਦੇਖਣਾ ਪਊਗਾ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਸਮੇਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉੱਚ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਕਿੱਧਰ ਨੂੰ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਤਾਂ ਸਾਡੀ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਪ੍ਰਣਾਲੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਪੁਰਾਣੀ ਤੇ ਮੰਨੀ ਪ੍ਰਮੰਨੀ ਹੈ। ਇਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਸੁਧਾਰ ਸਮੇਂ-ਸਮੇਂ ਤੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਵੀ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਹੋ ਵੀ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ। ਤਾਂ ਇਹ ਸੁਧਾਰ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਕਈ ਸਾਲਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਹੋ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ ਤੇ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਇਸ ਗੱਲ ਲਈ ਯਤਨਸ਼ੀਲ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਉੱਚ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਉਤਸ਼ਾਹਿਤ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਵੇ। ਸੋ ਇਸ ਔਖੇ ਸਮੇਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਬਹਾਨਾ ਜਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਕਹਿ ਲਓ ਕਿ ਵੇ ਬਣਿਆ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਵੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਵਧੇ। ਤਾਂ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਮਾਹੌਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਇੱਕ ਬਦਲ ਰੱਖਦੇ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਲੋਕ ਉਹਦੇ ਅਗੇਂਸਟ ਵੀ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਹੱਕ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ। ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਰਿਸਰਚ ਨੂੰ ਕਰਨ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਆਬਜ਼ਰਵੇਸ਼ਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੈਥਡ ਜਾਂ ਰਿਸਰਚ ਮੈਥੋਲੋਜੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਧਿਆਨ ਨਾਲ ਜਦੋਂ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਇਹਦੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਪੇਪਰ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮੈਥੋਲੋਜੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਨਿਗਰਾਨੀ ਹੀ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਪਾਸਟ ਕੀ ਸੀ, ਪ੍ਰੈਜ਼ੈਂਟ ਕੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਫਿਊਚਰ ਕੀ ਹੋਵੇਗਾ। ਤਾਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਉੱਚ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਦੇ ਫੈਕਟਰ ਨੂੰ ਦੇਖਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੁਝ
excuse me, Dr. Sarabjit, a minute, please. Dr. Sarabjit, a minute, please. Dr. Vishal seeks your directions that as per the instructions, the presentation only in English is to be there. So should we continue?
No, sir. I am student of Punjabi language. This is not matter about that.
Just wait, Dr. Sarabjit. Please.
Dr. Sarabjit, please. I'm talking to Dr. Vishal.
There is no issues. He has made the slides in English and Punjabi both. So that's why I am displaying in English and he is speaking in Punjabi. So there is no issue. Please continue, Dr. Sarabjit.
Very fine,
Thank you, sir. Thank you. ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਜੀ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਆਬਜੈਕਟ ਆਫ ਸਟੱਡੀ ਕੀ ਨੇ। ਮੰਨ ਲਓ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਚ ਉਪਦੇਸ਼ ਕਰਨੇ। ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਉੱਚ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਵੱਲ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਦੇਖਣਾ ਪਊਗਾ ਕਿ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਕੁ ਪ੍ਰਭਾਵਸ਼ਾਲੀ ਹੈ। ਨੰਬਰ 2 ਕਿ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੋ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਡੀਆਂ ਚੁਣੌਤੀਆਂ ਉਹ ਵਿਦਿਆਰਥੀਆਂ ਦੀ ਪ੍ਰੀਖਿਆ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰਬੰਧ ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਮਾਈਂਡ ਸੈਟ ਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਮਾਈਂਡ ਸੈਟ ਇਸ ਗੱਲ ਲਈ ਤਿਆਰ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਲੈਣੀ ਹੈ। ਤੀਜੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਮਾਧਿਅਮ ਰਾਹੀਂ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਗਈ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਰੁਜ਼ਗਾਰ ਮੁਹੱਈਆ ਕਰਵਾਊਗੀ। ਇਸ ਮਾੜੇ ਦੌਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦਾ ਰੁਜ਼ਗਾਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਚਲਾ ਗਿਆ ਹੈ। ਚੌਥਾ ਪੁਆਇੰਟ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਵੱਖ-ਵੱਖ ਕਲਚਰ ਦੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਟ੍ਰੈਡੀਸ਼ਨਲ ਵੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਟੈਕਸਟ ਨਾਲ ਜੋੜਦੇ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਐਥੀਕਲੀ ਉਹ ਆਪਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੁੜ ਪਾਉਣਗੇ। ਪੰਜਵਾਂ ਪੁਆਇੰਟ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਕੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਵਿਦਿਆਰਥੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਓਵਰਆਲ ਡਿਵੈਲਪਮੈਂਟ ਲਈ ਵਚਨਬੱਧ ਰਹੇਗੀ। ਉਹ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਡੀਲ ਕਰੇਗੀ ਕਿ ਵਿਦਿਆਰਥੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਹਰੇਕ ਏਜ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਗਰੋਇੰਗ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ। ਐਂਡ ਲਾਸਟ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਆਬਜੈਕਟ ਮੇਰਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਉਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਵਿੱਚ ਵਿਦਿਆਰਥੀ ਅਤੇ ਅਧਿਆਪਕ ਵਸਤੂ ਦੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋਏ किस तरह अपने एथिक्स ਨੂੰ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਸੰਭਾਲ ਕੇ ਰੱਖਣਗੇ। ਤਾਂ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਥੋੜਾ ਮੈਂ ਬਰੀਫ ਹਿਸਟਰੀ ਦੇਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੁਣ ਤਸਵੀਰ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਹੁਣ ਆਧੁਨਿਕ ਸਮੇਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਵੱਲ ਤਾਂ ਵਧ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ, ਪਰ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਸਕੂਲਾਂ ਕਾਲਜਾਂ ਤੇ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਗੂਗਲ ਕਲਾਸਰੂਮ, ਮਾਈਕਰੋਸਾਫਟ ਟੀਮ, ਸਕਾਈਪ ਪਲੇਟਫਾਰਮਾਂ, WhatsApp, YouTube ਆਦਿ ਵਰਤ ਕੇ ਇਹ ਰਸਤਾ ਅਪਣਾ ਤਾਂ ਲਿਆ ਹੈ। ਪਰ ਕੀ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪ੍ਰਚਾਰ ਹੁਣ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਸਾਡੀ ਅਰਥ ਵਿਵਸਥਾ ਜਾਂ ਸਾਡੀ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰੈਸ ਕਰਨ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਸਿਰਫ ਇੱਕਮਾਤਰ ਸਹਾਰਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਹੀ ਸੱਚਮੁੱਚ ਦੇਸ਼ ਤੇ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਸਮੱਸਿਆਵਾਂ ਦਾ ਹੱਲ ਹੈ? ਇਹ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਵੇਖਣਾ ਵੀ ਪਊਗਾ ਤੇ ਸੋਚਣਾ ਵੀ ਪਊਗਾ। ਇਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਮੈਂ ਅੱਗੇ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੂੰਗਾ ਚੁਣੌਤੀਆਂ, ਸਾਡੇ ਚੈਲੰਜਸ ਕੀ ਨੇ। ਤਾਂ ਉੱਚ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਨੂੰ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਸਾਧਨਾਂ ਰਾਹੀਂ ਵਿਦਿਆਰਥੀਆਂ ਤੱਕ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾਵਾਂਗੇ ਤਾਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਚੈਲੰਜ ਹੋਣਗੇ। ਭਾਰਤ ਜਿਹੇ ਦੇਸ਼ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੰਨੀ ਜਲਦੀ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਸਾਧਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਵਿਵਸਥਾ ਕਰਨੀ ਸ਼ਾਇਦ ਸੰਭਵ ਨਹੀਂ। ਮੈਂ ਦੱਸਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਅਜੇ ਤੱਕ ਤਾਂ ਭਾਰਤ ਦੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਪਿੰਡਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਿਜਲੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਹੁੰਚੀ ਤੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਪਹੁੰਚਾਂਗੇ। ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਨੂੰ ਮੁਹੱਈਆ ਕਰਾਉਣ 'ਚ ਜੋ ਲੋਕ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਉਹ ਤਕਨੀਕੀ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਪ੍ਰਫੁੱਲਤ ਹੋਣਗੇ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਸਾਡੇ ਦੇਸ਼ 'ਚ ਅਵੇਲੇਬਲ ਹੈਗਾ। ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਮਾਧਿਅਮ ਰਾਹੀਂ ਵਿਦਿਆਰਥੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਦੋਂ ਸਮਾਜ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤ ਵਿਦਿਆਰਥੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਸਮਾਜ 'ਚ ਵਿਚਰਨਗੇ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਐਥੀਕਲੀ ਸਮਾਜ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਤੇ ਭਰੋਸੇਯੋਗਤਾ ਜਤਾਊਗਾ ਕਿ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਵਿਦਿਆਰਥੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਸਰਵਪੱਖੀ ਵਿਕਾਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਨਾਲ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਚਰਿੱਤਰ, ਬੌਧਿਕ ਤੇ ਦੂਰਅੰਦੇਸ਼ੀ ਬਾਰੇ ਮਾਪਦੰਡ ਤੈਅ ਕਰੂਗੀ ਕਿ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਜਿਹੇ ਤੱਥਾਂ ਬਾਰੇ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਜਾਊਗਾ ਜੋ ਗਰਾਊਂਡ ਰਿਐਲਿਟੀ ਬਾਰੇ ਕਲੀਅਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋਣਗੇ। ਤਾਂ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਸਮੱਸਿਆ ਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਚੱਲਾਂਗੇ ਤਾਂ ਕੀ ਉੱਚ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇੱਕ ਚੰਗੇ ਮਾਧਿਅਮ ਵਜੋਂ ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਸਕੇਗੀ? ਇਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਨੇ। ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਧੜਾ ਧੜ ਇੱਕ ਪਾਸੇ ਤਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਉਹ ਸਾਡਾ ਬਦਲ ਹੈ, ਦੂਜੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਦੇਸ਼ ਦੀ ਇਕਨੋਮੀ ਇਹ ਡਿਸਾਈਡ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਪਾ ਰਹੀ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਗਰੀਬ ਨੂੰ 3 ਟਾਈਮ ਦੀ ਰੋਟੀ ਮਿਲਣੀ ਹੈ ਜਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲਣੀ। ਤਾਂ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਪ੍ਰਾਇਮਰੀ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਫ੍ਰੀ ਆਫ ਕਾਸਟ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਤੱਕ ਪਹੁੰਚਦੀ ਸੀ, ਦੇਸ਼ ਦੇ ਬਹੁਤੇ ਹਿੱਸਿਆਂ 'ਚ ਬੱਚੇ ਉਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੈ ਸਕੇ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਵਿਚਾਰੇ ਕਈ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਭੀਖ ਮੰਗਣਾ ਜਾਂ ਹੋਰ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਸੋਸ਼ਲ ਕ੍ਰਾਈਮ ਦਾ ਹਿੱਸਾ ਬਣ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ। ਤੇ ਕੀ ਉੱਥੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਮਹਿੰਗੇ ਲੈਪਟਾਪ, ਮਹਿੰਗੀਆਂ ਟੈਕਨੋਲੋਜੀਆਂ, ਮਹਿੰਗਾ ਇੰਟਰਨੈਟ ਦੇ ਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਉਣ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ? ਸੋ ਭਾਰਤ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡੇ ਚੈਲੰਜ ਨੇ। ਸੋ ਮੈਂ ਅਖੀਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਣੇ ਕਨਕਲੂਜਨ ਵੱਲ ਵਧਦਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਦੱਸਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤ ਕਰਨਾ ਵਿਅਕਤੀ ਦਾ ਹੱਕ ਹੈ। ਕੁਝ ਵਿਅਕਤੀ ਅਜਿਹੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਨ ਜੋ ਕਿਸੇ ਨਾ ਕਿਸੇ ਕਾਰਨ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਈ ਛੱਡ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹਨ। ਅਜਿਹੇ ਵਿਅਕਤੀਆਂ ਦੀ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਵਧੀਆ ਮੌਕੇ ਪ੍ਰਦਾਨ ਕਰੇਗੀ। ਜਿੱਥੇ ਦੇ ਨੈਗੇਟਿਵ ਫੈਕਟ ਨੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਪੋਜ਼ਿਟਿਵ ਵੀ ਨੇ। ਉਹ ਆਪਣੀ ਨੌਕਰੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਨਾਲ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਤੇ ਵਰਤਮਾਨ ਸਮੇਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਣੀ ਤਰੱਕੀ ਲਈ ਅੱਗੇ ਵਧਣਗੇ। ਉਹ ਕਈ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿਸੇ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਰ ਦਾ ਭੇਦਭਾਵ ਹੋਣ ਦੀ ਸੰਭਾਵਨਾ ਨਹੀਂ, ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਬਰਾਬਰ ਸਮਝਿਆ ਜਾਊਗਾ ਤੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਇੱਕੋ ਜਿਹੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਲੈਣਗੇ। ਅਗਲਾ ਪੁਆਇੰਟ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਇੱਕ ਚੰਗਾ ਬਦਲ ਹੈ ਉੱਥੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਇਸ ਦੀਆਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨਕਾਰਾਤਮਕ ਕਾਰਨ ਵੀ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਭਾਰਤ ਦੇ ਖੇਤਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਮੈਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਟੈਕਨੋਲੋਜੀ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਪਹੁੰਚੂਗੀ, ਉਹਦਾ ਮੈਕੈਨਿਜ਼ਮ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਖੜਾ ਹੋਊਗਾ, ਇਸ ਬਾਰੇ ਤਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਅਜੇ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ। ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਇਸ ਮਾੜੇ ਸਮੇਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਇੰਪਲੀਮੈਂਟ ਕਰਨੀਆਂ ਪਏਗੀਆਂ, ਪਰ ਕੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਪਾਰਟ ਟਾਈਮ ਮੰਨਾਂਗੇ ਜਾਂ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਪੱਕੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹੀ ਫਿਕਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਥੋਪ ਦੇਵਾਂਗੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਅਜੇ 70-75 ਸਾਲ ਆਜ਼ਾਦੀ ਦੇ ਲੰਘਣ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਇਹ ਸੋਚ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਝੰਡਾ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਫੜਨਾ ਤੇ ਝੰਡੇ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਲਹਿਰਾਉਣਾ। ਅਗਲੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਵਿਦਿਆਰਥੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਕਲਾਸਰੂਮ ਮਾਹੌਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਿੱਖਦਾ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਉਸ ਨਾਲ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਉਹ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਸਿੱਖਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਵਿਦਿਆਰਥੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਬਿਹੇਵੀਅਰ ਸੈੱਟ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਕਲਾਸਰੂਮ ਰੀਡਿੰਗ ਦੇਖਦਾ ਹੈ, ਸੋਸ਼ਲ ਸਟਰਕਚਰ ਸਿੱਖਦਾ ਹੈ, ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਸਾਇੰਸਿਸ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ। ਤੇ ਕੀ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਇੱਕ ਆਬਜੈਕਟ ਬਣ ਕੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਹਿ ਜਾਊਗਾ? ਤੇ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਦੇ ਕੁਝ ਨਕਾਰਾਤਮਕ ਪਹਿਲੂ ਨੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਚੰਗੇ ਪਹਿਲੂ ਵੀ ਨੇ। ਇਹ ਸਾਰਾ ਮੇਰੇ ਪੇਪਰ ਦਾ ਇਸ਼ੂ ਸੀ। ਪੇਪਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਡਿਟੇਲ 4000 ਵਰਡ ਨੇ। ਸੋ ਮੈਂ ਇੰਨਾ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਖਿਮਾ ਜੱਜ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਮਿਹਰਬਾਨੀ ਵਿਸ਼ਾਲ ਸਰ, ਚੇਅਰ ਪਰਸਨ ਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸੈਸ਼ਨ ਚੇਅਰ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ, ਤੇ ਵਿਸ਼ਾਲ ਵਰਮਾ। ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਸਰ।
Thank you, Dr. Sarabjit. I appreciate your time management at the end. Next, I call Mrs. Rekha Devi, serial number 38. Hello, Madam Rekha is there. Madam, there is a lot of background noise. A lot of background noise is there, madam. Please control it. Please speak something. Please speak, Madam Rekha. No, sorry, Madam Rekha, you are not audible at all. Please speak out something. No, a lot of noise is there in the background. Dr. Vishal, if you permit, we should move to the next candidate. The time may be given to Dr. Rekha for the presentation.
Yeah, what we can do is we can call her later.
Yes, sir, please. Mrs. Rekha, we will call you later. Time being, please try to overcome the problem of the voice issues on your part. I will just call you later after this very next participant. Timing, I call Mr. Sikandar Singh Shima, the serial number 33.
Respected Professor Dharamveer Sharma ji.
Mrs. Rekha, please switch off your mic.
Yes, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible. I am requesting Mrs. Rekha, please switch off your mic.
Professor Dharamveer Sharma ji, Professor Vishal Goyal, Dr. Bishar Verma, and my dear colleagues, a very good morning to all of you. Today I am going to present a very important topic for rural area students: online teaching, learning solutions for rural area students with limited or no internet connectivity. We all know that due to COVID-19, it's a problem for all of us to go into the classroom. So that's why all the governments, all the school administrators, they have announced that all teachers and students should go for the virtual classroom. So there is no other alternative. As one of the previous speakers, Dr. Sarvjit Singh, also explained various problems during this online classes. So I will provide a basic few methods or points through which we can see or we can overcome the issues which are coming in the online classroom for the rural students especially. So now I am going to discuss 8 to 9 methods by using which a student of remote area and rural area can get the benefit. Now first one is call regularly. This is a very important method for those students in which there is no internet connectivity, because my topic is covered with less internet connectivity and no internet connectivity. So this method is good for all those students where there is no internet connectivity. Teachers can call them regularly, twice or thrice in a day, to tell various points of the study, and they can give the assignments, and on the phone call revert they can get the problem faced by the student for particular topic or for particular assignment. Second method is television program. Now it is not that this problem exists in India only, because India is a developing country. It also exists in the developed country also. This same problem, when you will survey on the internet, is faced by Western countries also, because limited internet connectivity is also issue in the Western country as well, in all developed country as well. So they are trying to cooperate with the other existing methods like television program. So in India, in Punjab, in Maharashtra, in different states, this television program is good for all rural students. Like in Punjab, DD Punjabi is booked by the Punjab Education Department, 2 slots in a day from 9 to 10 for primary students up to 5th, and 10 to 11 for secondary students from 6 to 12. Plus 2 students. So through they are giving the complete exposure of all the subjects through videography as well as picturization, so that students sitting at home, they can easily grasp the things which are taught by the teachers. So it is good from the small children point of view, because they are very keen to see the TV. To parallel to their interest, they are able to see the TV without any extra cost. Because for rural student, cost of payment is also matter, because majority of rural students, they have no mobile phone, they are not easily to pay the things for the extra connectivity or payment for extra channels. So DD Punjabi is totally free, it is working for all. Parallel to that, there are other channels also like Swam Prabha, and Maharashtra government also offering various channels. So I think this television program is very good where no internet connectivity is here. Next is try to hand over study material in hard copies in once in a week. So this is not related directly to the online teaching, but it is an indirect way to hand over the things after 1 week or 15 days. Study material in hard copies can be distributed by the school official, college official, or university official, or by concerned teacher, so that student can get through by the notes which are prepared by teacher itself. Because when we are providing the notes prepared by teacher, the student can get easily rather than reading the home, rather than reading the books. So this is a good method. Next one is mail the topics regularly. So this method is for those areas where less connectivity of internet is there. Connectivity is there, but it's less. You can say they are not able to connect to the video conferencing or connect to the Google Meet, etc. So teacher can send a mail regularly, once in a day or twice, and parallel to that, they have to send the text by copy pasting in the mail itself, not attaching the attachment. Because when we are going to attach the file or folder, it takes too much bandwidth to upload as well as to download. But there is no problem from uploading side, because institutes all have the good bandwidth. But on the other side, when the student will download it, he or she will face the problem. So I recommend here that mail should be there, but without attachment, by copy pasting the material in the mail itself. Next is WhatsApp. So in few countries, WhatsApp is, you can say, having more connectivity of audio as well with less cost. So here cost matters. So when few countries, they are providing the connectivity of internet, they are providing the free WhatsApp facility and with the high bandwidth. So this method is good for those students who have less internet connectivity. So through WhatsApp, if less connectivity is there, he or she can get the knowledge through audio also. If there is any problem, student can ask the question to the teacher through audio also. Text is there, it's for text, WhatsApp is very good, there is no more need of bandwidth, but parallel to that, students or teachers, they can use audio also, where less internet connectivity is there. Next is video conference calls. Video conference call is a very good idea, but it is only possible where bandwidth and internet connectivity is proper. But for that, the student...
Mr. Sikandar, please move towards that wind up. Time is about.
Yes, because I have 4 minutes now. It's 46, up to 50 is there, my time I think. So, because when you go for video on the video conference call, it is taking a lot of bandwidth, but on the other hand, when you will go for the audio, then it is taking the less bandwidth. So it is good for all the students who has less connectivity. Next is Google Drive. So schools, colleges or universities, they can create the Google Drive on their end, and one person can allocate one area, so that particular area can be assigned to that person, and that person can take the notes from Google Drive and take the printouts and can distribute to the area where he or she belongs. So in the conclusion, because we have seen various methods, individually no one method is accurate for all the students of rural area. A combination of more than one is good, like WhatsApp plus email. Where less internet connectivity is there, at those places we can use WhatsApp as well as email for the facility of rural areas. And for the students where no internet connectivity is there, we can go for television programs and calls. That's all from my side. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Sikandar. Next, I do call Dr. Kiran, serial number 13.
Good afternoon to all. Myself, Dr. Kiranjit Kaur, presenting a paper on effectiveness of MHRD e-contents during COVID-19. Next. As we all know, MHRD is now known as Ministry of Education. It has developed under this National Mission on Education through Information Technology in 2009 is provided for providing opportunity to teachers and experts in the country to pool their knowledge for the benefit of every Indian learner. It is a central sponsored scheme to leverages the potentials of ICTP. The three principles of education policy are assessed, means connectivity to everyone, equity, low cost, providing low cost divided devices to researchers and students, and high quality contents. Next one is the online education platforms. There are various online education platforms that have played important role during this. E-learning platform, Ministry of Human Resources. During the COVID period, there has been a combined access of over 1.4 crores since 23rd March 2020. Now I will discuss one by one these platforms and the role of COVID. They have played a role during the COVID. First one is SWAYAM. The objective of SWAYAM is to provide the best teaching learning resources to all. It provides learning resources to all the classes from 9th to 12th, UG and PG courses. It provides information in the form of video lectures, reading materials, self-assessment tests, and online discussion forums. The role of SWAYAM during COVID-19 is, its use is 3 times increased during the first 3 months of the lockdown period. SWAYAM use is increased to SWAYAM use is increased at least 5 times over a lockdown period. Like in the starting 50,000 strikers are in the last week of March, but till yesterday there are 2.5 lakh accesses are there. SWAYAM platform now can be viewed by any learner free of cost without any registration. Next one is SWAYAM Prabha. SWAYAM Prabha is an initiative to provide 32 high-quality direct-to-home channels on a 24/7 basis. They provide new contents for at least 4 hours, which would be repeated 5 times in a day. Effect of it during COVID-19, nearly 59,000 people are viewing the videos of SWAYAM Prabha DTH every day. Even more than 6.8 lakh people have watched these videos since the lockdown begins. And they have launched special classes during the challenging time of the benefits for the students. National Digital Library of India, it is the repository, as we all know, 24/7 hour learning resource. Effectiveness of it during COVID, National Digital Library was assessed 1,60,804 times just one day during the lockdown period, and about 14,51,886 times during the lockdown period, as against 22,000 daily strikers are there for the National Digital Library. It has reached out to the students with 3.5 crore academic contents to enable them to study from home. In the outbreak of COVID-19, all the e-resources can be accessed without being signed up. Means there is no need to registration. You can directly access the contents during this period. NDL has built a special repository named COVID-19 Research Source Repository to bring in the latest research materials from across the world. It may be data, research work, videos, challenges, and funds. The next one is Shodh Ganga. As we all know, Shodh Ganga is a platform to research scholars to deposit PhD thesis. That is maintained by the InfluBNet Center. Effectiveness of it is much more increased during COVID-19. Till yesterday, it provides 2,76,170 full theses and 7650 PDF synopsis and many more. Next is eShodh Sindhu. It provides access to more than 10,000 core and peer-reviewed journals, bibliographic, citation, and factual databases in different disciplines from a large number of publishers and aggregators to its member institutes. Initially, it is available to only the member institutes. You have to get its membership for the institution. But during the period of COVID, they have provide free access. Various publishers provide free access to the full to educational institutional research scholars and academics like ACM Digital Library, Annual Review, Springer Nature, and many more. Next one is ePG Pathshala. During COVID-19, ePG Pathshala provide high quality curriculum based interactive e-contents in 70 subjects across all disciplines from social sciences, fine arts, humanities to mathematical sciences. And during the period of COVID-19, they have uploaded 22,000 modules, e-text and videos of different courses and subjects. Next one is virtual labs. Virtual lab means you don't require any additional infrastructure for setting up experiments at user premises. User can do the experiments by connecting via the internet. During the COVID period, NITK Sraksthal playing a prominent role. They are setting up a virtual laboratory. This lab is helping colleges in Karnataka, Goa, and Kerala to continue their academic activities through e-learning. Under virtual lab projects, there are 100 virtual labs consisting of approximately 700 plus web-enabled experiments for remote operations and viewing. Next one is eYantra. eYantra is basically a platform that is used for effective education across engineering colleges on embedded systems. They provide help to colleges to set up robotics labs, and near about 275 colleges in India has benefited with this initiatives. Very high access rate of it is during the COVID-19. Next one is FOSSEE. FOSS, it promotes the open source softwares in educational institutions. It provides the materials in the form of spoken tutorials, textbook companions, awareness programs such as conferences, training workshops, and internships. It also has a high success rate during COVID-19. Even during the COVID period, FOSS Summer Fellowship 2020 commented on 20th April 20 online due to COVID restrictions. The fellowship is conducted remotely. The opted fellows work full-time and part-time from their home, and they are contributing remotely to the FOSS. Next one is other online platforms. During COVID-19, rate of access contents from following programs has also increased. ePathshala. This is basically a platform for the classes from 1st to 12th provide information in different languages like 1886 audios, 2000 videos, 696 ebooks, and 504 flipbooks. Badal. NME ICT Clouds for academic purpose. It provides solutions for everything. You don't need to buy anything. You can pay as you go, as you use. Diksha, this is online platform for school educations from classes from 1st to 12th. Teachers, students, and parents are engaging learning materials relevant to the topic. 80,000 e-contents are available in different languages. National Repository of Open Educational Resources. It is the best quality, providing the best quality information in multiple languages of total 14527 files, 401 collections, and a lot more. Now I am going to discuss in detail the effectiveness of e-contents. As we already seen, the various online platforms, they have playing a very important role during the COVID period. As we all know, on 23rd March 2020, there is a spread of COVID and proper lockdown is there. We cannot go to schools or classes physically. We can't, how our study will continue. Now the MHRD, now it is known as Ministry of Education, they provide various online platforms and TV and radio stations for providing online communication. The lockdown period, during the lockdown period, there have been digital access has been increased many more times. Many institutions are holding classes online through this. Even the SWAYAM is the most popular one from these. The digital access has grown 5 times before the COVID period now. Even there are regulatory changes like enhancing permissible regulatory changes are there, like SWAYAM online component in conventional universities and ODL programs for 20% to 40% during the COVID. And
Madam, please move towards the wind-up.
Distance and online education regulatory frameworks, 25% to the universities to offer for quality provisions. Virat Setu app is launched by the Government of India, Ministry of MHRD, for maintaining the heritage of India online during this period of COVID to entertain or providing videos of different things. over 2,000 corona-related research projects at science and technology institutes in the country, from personal care equipment to testing kits, data analytic models, and treatment alternatives. Even engineering students from IIT Bombay, NIT Srinagar, and Islamic Universities of Science and Technology come up with a low-cost ventilators using locally available materials. All this is possible because the Ministry of Higher Education, that is now Ministry of Education, is providing online platforms even to the lower classes. They have used the analog radio stations bandwidth, because the analog bandwidth is now not used in these days, and they use it for the activity learning for the lower class students, radio station channels. This is all about the effectiveness of MHRD contents. The following are the references that I have used. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Kiran. Next, I do call Dr. Jagtar Singh.
Hello.
Dr. Jagtar Singh is there? Yes.
Hello.
Please switch on your camera also. Please switch on your camera also. You are audible.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. A very good morning to all. My topic
so you are not visible. Please switch on your camera also.
Sir, camera is on from my side.
Okay, then do continue.
A very good morning to all. My topic of presentation is flipped classrooms. In 21st century, rapidly developed technology affect education, training fields as they do in all fields. In parallel to the speed of development in technical fields, education conditions develop as well, and different learning demands come out. In order to compensate these demands that come out with this transformation are among the top responsibilities of education system. That is why a qualified education system should not limit learning and transform traditional structure into modern structure with technical opportunities. As changing in knowledge and technology is so fast, education also keeps up with it and continues its development with innovative learning approaches. This changing and transformation in education training field takes out the existence of new strategy, that is flipped classroom system in education. Flipped classroom approach is which is accepted as the most popular and active-based approach, is a special type of blended learning. This approach firstly attracted attention of educators in 2007. The main aim of this new learning approach is to provide preparation of students for the subject before the course and during course, applying activities that increase the quality of face-to-face education. Definitions of flipped classroom. According to Wishp and Verlager, flipped classroom is a student-centered learning method consisting of two parts with interactive learning activities during lesson and individual teaching basis directly on computer out of lesson. According to Mull defined it as a model that provides students to prepare themselves for the lesson by watching videos, listening podcasts, and reading articles. So we can say that in this approach, before the course, the students watch theoretical part of lesson by multiple equipment such as online videos, presentation, learning management system, and take notes, prepare questions about the parts that they do not understand. During course, they achieve sporting activities such as finding answer together to the question they prepared before lesson, group working, problem solving, discussion, and making an inference. Flipped classroom is an approach that transfers learning responsibility from teacher to the student. Flipped classroom approach is a system that provides increased interaction time between the teacher and the student, presentation of a condition in which students take their own learning responsibilities, the transition of role of the teacher into a guide, blending of a constructivist learning with teaching method. Each student taking individual education, consistency of learning by repetitions and preventing students to keep behind of class that cannot come to class for any reason. Flipped classroom examples. The standard inverted classroom. In this type of classroom, students are assigned the homework of watching video lectures and reading any materials relevant to the next stage class. During class time, students practice what they have learned through traditional schoolwork with their teachers freed up for additional one-on-one time. Second is the discussion-oriented flipped classroom. Teachers assign lecture videos as well as any other video or reading related to the day's subject like YouTube videos and other resources. In class time, class time is then devoted to discussion and exploration of the subject. This can be an especially useful approach in subjects where context is everything, like history, art, or English. Third is the demonstration focused flipped classroom, especially for those subjects that require students to remember and repeat activities exactly like chemistry, physics, and just about every math class. It is most helpful to have a video demonstration to be able to rewind and rewatch. In this model, the teacher uses screen recording software to demonstrate the activity in a way that allows students to follow along at their own pace. Next is the group-based flipped classroom. This model adds a new element to help students to learn from each other. The class starts the same way others do, with lecture, videos, and other resources shared before class. The shift happens when students come to class teaming up to work together on that day's assignment. The format encourages students to learn from one another and helps students to not only learn to what the right answers are, but also how to actually explain to a peer why those answers are right. Second last is the virtual flipped classroom. For older students and in some courses, the flipped classroom can eliminate the need of classroom time at all. Some college and university professors now share lecture video for students viewing, assign, and collect work via online learning management system, and simply require students to attend office hours or other regularly scheduled time for brief one-on-one instruction based on the individual student's needs. The last is flipping the teacher. All the videos created for a flipped classroom does not have to begin and end with the teacher. Students too can make use of video to better demonstrate proficiency, assign students to their record practice role play activities to show competency, or ask each to film themselves presenting a new subject or skill as a means to teach the teacher. Next, please. The advantages of flipped classroom model approach. Each student can follow their courses according to their own understanding speed. There is opportunity to watch again and again if necessary. Homework is done in class. Students can ask questions about the subject they did not understand comfortably. Educators may also provide suitable solutions according to the talent of their students. Students have a chance to access course 24/7. Time spent in classroom is used more effectively in terms of both students and educators. Next, please. More time can be spent with students about the original research. Students are able to spend more time with scientific equipment that can only be used in the classroom. Students being able to easily follow the classes which they could not because of sport, conference activities. Method pushes up students to think and study inside and outside the classroom. Students being more active in the learning process. Students will participate to the learning environment more actively, and this will cause students to love the work they do. Next are some disadvantages of flipped classroom.
Dr. Jagtar, please move toward the binder.
Just a minute. Following whether the students watch the video or not is difficult for teachers. Students who don't have learning capacity face difficulty in learning environment, needing computer and internet for the application. PF model complicate the applicability of model, need for technology increased cost. Students who learn through videos do not ask questions, have difficulty in establishing a relationship between topics, and as a result have difficulty in learning if there is no internet connection or computer. To conclude, we can say that flipped classroom radically changed the way we taught. We are able to know our students better than ever before, and we are able to meet the educational needs of each student. We encourage students to consider flipping a new lesson or maybe to completely flip their class. We have been amazed at how this simple concept not only has helped our students but has made an impact on thousands of students across the globe. Prensky stated that this time is the time of digital natives, and if the digital immigrants, in other words, teachers would not like to teach the new generation, they should redesign their methods and materials according to learners' learning styles. Almost all the students follow up technology, smartphone or tablets are in the center of their life, and also they use internet to follow up social media sites. For that reason, teachers present educational outputs of lesson content that will attract the student attention through educational social network tools such as Embeddo, Wizard, Encanvas, etc. In this way, it is aimed to carry teaching out the class and increase readiness of students, and also there will be more time for interaction and activities with the students in the classroom. Flipped learning is adaptive, flexible, and effective creative planning